Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is gonna be my first impressions of the Vredo pack. So I'm gonna do this video a little bit different than I probably normally would. My goal is just kind of give you the highlights of what I've observed with testing and taking a look at things to let you guys know kind of what's going on in the pack and maybe what you guys should expect. I will do a more in-depth video where I look at absolutely all the details of everything. That'll probably post either tomorrow or sometime after this today. So yeah, let's go and take a look at what the new features are and kind of what the things are. So this is what is supposed to have been added. Wild boars are supposed to have been added. You have a bunch of slurry equipment to do slurry injection. Okay, nothing new, but different equipment to do it. You have Vredo, a new brand. Okay. Overseeding or reseeding is a new feature or thing that you can do in the game. Okay. And the boars allegedly will damage your crops, and you can feed them in the wintertime to prevent that. So those are kind of the things we're looking at. So if I go in the store first off, in the Vredo pack, here's all the new equipment. Slurry injector here, slurry injectors. This one also cultivates, that's a little bit different there. And then we have the overseeding things here. These are what going to do oilseed radish or grass. I haven't really experimented too much with the oilseed radish. The main thing I think is going to be the grass you'll want to use these on, but you can use these to plant out oilseed radish as well. And then we have 3 self-propelled kind of slurry setups here. You can see if you hit combinations what they'll work with. That one will do all of them. This one will do most of them. And then the smallest one will do most of them as well, just not one of them. So, yeah, there's some different things there. Yeah, okay. There's not really a lot of new stuff happening here. Vredo's a new brand, which is cool. I always love seeing new brands. Then these guys are your reseeding or overseeding technology. I'm not going to pull any of the equipment out and take a look at it. There's nothing crazy here with that. My next video that's more in depth, we're actually going to take a look at all the equipment and use all of the equipment. So that's what's going to happen there. This one, the goal is not to use the equipment, just to talk about the features and show you guys kind of my first impressions of them. And the sponsor of this video is G-Portal. They are a fantastic server company, and they will give you the best bang for your buck. High quality servers. I only use G-Portal servers, and honestly, I've really never had any issues with them. And if you do have any issues, they're quick to get back to you with support and everything like that. So very good customer service from them. You can use the link down below in the description to get 10% off your server rental as well as support the channel. So definitely worth it. And I'll tell you this, whether you want to get the Vredo pack or not, you might say no to Vredo, but you should always say yes to a G-Portal server. So I'll say that. Whether you're on the fence or not about the Vredo pack, or Vredo, or however you even say it, you definitely want to get yourself a G-Portal server, that's for sure. Definitely worth getting. But yeah, and that way you can play with your friends, and you can do that cross-platform, whether your friends playing Xbox, PlayStation, you play on PC, you can get that set up. You can add mods. It's super cheap to add a ton of mod space onto your server. And honestly, it's not very expensive. It's just you and a few people getting on there, getting a server good to go. If you guys split that cost, it's honestly literally nothing to be able to play with your friends and have that set up for you. So definitely worth checking out. But yeah, again, link down below in the description. Make sure you guys check out G-Portal. Even if you're not getting the Vredo pack, make sure you get yourself a G-Portal server so that way you can play with your friends. So I have been doing some testing in terms of the boars and everything like that. There are wild boars out and about. I might be able to find some for you here real quick. I got to go up here anyways to take a look at something. So I noticed when I first loaded in this game save, I wasn't finding them. Like, they were very hard to find. But after a while, they got a little bit easier to find. But anyhow, yeah, I don't see them right now. I have a clip I can play for us if we don't find them. I did some recording of them. So I can show you guys kind of what the boars look like. So maybe we'll put that towards the end. But anyhow, reseeding happens when grass fields get damaged. These grass fields here I've been harvesting regularly. Probably harvest them 8 times or 9 times. So you can see little kind of gaps are starting to form, like right there. Right there's another one. So these are where the reseeding is going to come in, where this crop field is slowly getting damaged over time. It takes a long time for it to get damaged, which is kind of nice, actually, at least from what I've noticed. And I've just been using the Colossus pack to just rapidly harvest it. So I don't know if you do more work on the field or drive more on the field and fertilize and things like that, if it's going to damage more of it because you're driving on the field more. I'm not sure what it's related to, but this is after about 1.5 years of work. I have that starting to show up there. You can't even really tell it on here where the kind of the little gaps are or anything like that. You can't really even tell where those are at. So just something to be aware of. Now, feeding the wild boars to avoid crop damage. We'll talk about how to do that in a second, and I'll show you guys kind of the 2 new placeables that are in this pack. I fed them 1 year and then didn't have any crop damage, as you can imagine. And then this is the 2nd year, and I didn't feed them last year. You're supposed to feed them in the winter time. So what'll happen is at midnight, at the beginning of January, at the beginning of December, you have to have those feed out there. They take 6,000 liters of hay a day, or a month, I guess I should say, in the feeders. and that's kind of what they eat. I put 2 feeders down. I don't know how many you need. This is the only crop damage on the ear that I haven't fed them that I've seen from the boars, and I've seen them in these fields over here as well, but it doesn't seem to be related. I watched them for a while from a distance to see if they would actually like do damage actively where they were, you know, rooting around in the crop fields and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like that's how it would work, which kind of makes sense. It kind of seems like it's a little bit kind of random, and you can turn those features off if you just want to use the equipment. Under settings at the very bottom, you can have wildlife crop damage. This is where wildlife animals can damage your crops. You can turn that off or on, and then grassland damage can be grassland will be damaged over time and will require overseeding. You can turn that off or on. I have both of them on, obviously, to do some experimenting with it. That's a cow over there, by the way. You don't have to worry. It's not a wild boar. Yeah, sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, well, there's one, but no, it's not. Okay. They're not that big either, but yeah. So that's kind of what I noticed. There's not a lot of crop damage, so if you're worried about that, you don't have to worry too much about it. And to prevent crop damage in the wintertime, you have to go into placeables. You go to animals, and you go to the end to others. You have the doghouse here as well, but that's already in the game. But then in that same category, you have the feeding station, and then you have this feeding station. This one just looks cooler, but they both have the same capacity, and you can place them. Now it says here, feeding stations can be placed in a forest, so you can place it wherever it counts as a forest. And if you place it, it automatically comes with 6,000 liters of hay, which is enough to feed your boars for 1 month of winter. And so you just basically need to put 6,000 liters, and you can stack bales in the little trigger point. Now this area right here was not considered a forest, but I placed enough trees. 1 tree wasn't enough, 2 trees wasn't enough, 3 wasn't enough, but I placed a few here, and I was able to get it to classify itself as a forest. So basically all you have to do for the winter time to feed these guys is you just have to put some hay in here, and you see hay 6,000 liters. It's completely full right now. At midnight every time a winter month hits, which is December, January, February, that will clear completely out automatically, and you have to put some more in. Honestly, you can just stack hay bales here and it'll automatically refill every day as long as you put enough. So again, you only need 18,000 liters of hay per feeder per year. I don't know how many feeders you need or how effective they are. You probably saw as well, you can't place them super close to each other. It says they have to be placed a minimum of 164 feet between them. Now down here what it says, feeding stations are used to help foresters feed wild animals in winter. In return, foresters help you reduce crop damage. It's an interesting way to phrase it. It's just you're feeding them to avoid crop damage. I haven't noticed any crop damage in the wintertime when not feeding them. Or feeding them, I guess. It's just, yeah, I don't know. So it seems like if you place them, maybe throughout the year, it kind of puts a debuff so you don't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what they classify as a forest. I think it's a certain number of trees within it. But yeah, I don't know how many feeding stations you have to place. Again, all of my fields were fine with just these 2 right here that I did before. Yeah, so I don't think you need a ton of them. But yeah, so it's not, there's nothing crazy in this pack, to be honest, guys. Like, I don't even know what does the Vredo pack go for right now. I can't even remember. And this comes out March 24th, by the way, so it'll come out next week. If you have the year 2 season pass, it's included. Yeah, right now it's only $8 pack if it's 10% off until March 24th, so it's $7.20. That's honestly not bad for what you get. I mean, you get a few new pieces of equipment. If you don't do slurry stuff ever, this probably isn't worth it. If you do slurry stuff sometimes, and I mean, honestly, I kind of dig the fact that the wild boars just kind of run around. It's kind of another kind of added piece of wildlife to the game, so I kind of dig it. I think they're kind of cool to see running around. But other than that, I mean, that's really the main thing. Is if you wanted to see that, you can feed them, but they don't go to the feeder. I've never seen them there eating or anything like that. There's nothing really that cool in this pack. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So if you wanted to see the full detailed video, I'll put that one out probably shortly after this one. I'm going to record that next, but and I'll actually use all the equipment, and we'll see if there's anything else to add on to it. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play just some B-roll of the boars doing some of their stuff and doing their thing, and then the video will end after that. So thank you guys for coming and watching. If you guys enjoyed, again, drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel. I guess it's not up on the screen right now because the video's not ending. It's down below anyhow. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Enjoy watching some boars run around if you want to.